It's Magic 102.1, the People Station with the Madd Hatter. And I have trial attorney, legal commentator, everything. She was also on a hit reality show, Ready to Love, Simone Redwine. And nobody I could think of better to speak on this whole Puffy situation than her. I know you've already been outspoken on it, but just well, you know what? Let me start where I really want to start first. Number one, if you're on his legal team, are you going to say, hey, Puff, go ahead to your social media page this weekend and start admitting to things that we said that we didn't do prior months back?
Heck no. Absolutely not. This is like what happens when your PR, your publicist, does not sit down with your lawyer.
Oof.
Because I've been hearing all of these publicists who are saying, he has to say something. He has to say something. But all the lawyers are like, no, he don't.
Yes, ma'am. And I know you're not on his team, obviously, from this point. But if you are
Correct.
on the legal team, what's the first 2 or 3 things you are going to say to him about this situation, about addressing it? Because I guess he just felt that with all the pressure that was going on about the video that was released, he had to say something.
Right. So with clients, not only do you have to tell them what not to do, but it's important to tell them why, so that when they have their little armchair lawyer friends, trying to tell them what to do, or even publicists, they can understand what are the ramifications. So here, it was interesting that he went ahead and he apologized right after the LA District Attorney's Office said they weren't going to press charge.
Right.
So I understand that he's probably thinking, it's okay to admit now because there's nothing at risk. No, baby, those are state charges. Federal charges could still be looming. So how about you zip it?
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. So remember, all of this has started with the feds raiding his home.
Yes, ma'am.
Both of his homes in March.
Mm-hmm.
And part of what they were looking for there were videotapes. So it's believed that that's how this tape was obtained, was through that raid.
And somebody leaked it.
Yeah.
But what would be the purpose of that? What would be the purpose from a legal standpoint to release this tape? How does it benefit you, especially
the
when
feds don't leak? I don't believe the feds did that.
Okay.
I think it's more likely that what happened could be, as an example, when the feds are pulling together the evidence, they secretly create and have a grand jury. Well, the grand jury has been presented all types of evidence, including things like this video. So if this video was presented, it could have been someone in the courthouse who was in charge of uploading videos to be presented to the grand jury. So there's a variety of different people throughout the process who could have had access to it and leak. But I don't think it was an intentional leak by the feds themselves.
Okay, I'll accept that. Now, here's the other caveat since you brought up the tape and where the tape took place at. I think I believe the hotel is called an Intercontinental Hotel in L.A. I don't know this to be fact, but I was under the impression that it was no longer there. But
that is correct.
But if it is no longer there, is there any legalities at all because I'm thinking if somebody saw something like this happen, that I don't know if you must report it. I don't know what the law is on
No, they actually don't.
Okay.
So unless you are what's called a mandatory reporting, which the hotel is not.
Okay.
They don't have to report anything. A mandatory reporter would be like a doctor, a school teacher, a guidance counselor, something like that.
Wow.
But here, they're not required to report it, but that still doesn't mean they couldn't be in trouble civilly. So I actually do believe that Cassie's lawyers, when they teed up this lawsuit against Diddy and all his entities, that they probably sent the same lawsuit draft, et cetera, to the former owners of this hotel, and they probably got every dime of their insurance policy.
Wait a minute.
For negligent security.
For a hotel that is no longer
That's right.
there, they can still be held liable for something like this?
Think of it like this, right? So the hotel is under like a new name, new operation.
Okay.
Think of it as though if you were to go bankrupt, or let's just say someone passed away. Let's say your grandpa was in a car accident 3 years ago and he hit somebody. And at the time that he hit them, though, he had auto insurance. Just because he's dead don't mean he gets away with hitting people. The insurance policy, because it was in effect when it occurred, that's what's going to make Cassie whole. And I believe that it probably was.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
deep.
see, we would just never know because we only know about this lawsuit because Diddy didn't have the good sense to settle it.
Okay. So, now let me ask you this. This could be just take the attorney hat off, lay it to the side. What happens with Puff at this point? Is there going to be, what's the word we're looking for here? Redemption from the public for Puff? Because I know Kelly Price tried that, and they let her have it.
For what? Let's think about this. What do we really need him for?
Well,
what do we need him for?
Well, some of these younger people, he gave them years throughout the 90s of some real incredible
great music.
Yes, ma'am.
But let's think about it. Unlike R. Kelly was actually producing the songs. R. Kelly was singing the songs. He was writing the song. Diddy doesn't do any of that.
Yeah, but on the record, he goes, yeah, and take that. And it's vital to the song's production piece.
Oh, it's so vital. What are we going to do without that? Take that. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, God.
I think through this, we're going to see just how useless and unvital he was. Now, he may have been the businessman, but the truth is the liquor company still exists without him in association. Revolt TV has been sold. Music, honestly, would be the only thing where some people may feel he's missed. And so, redemption-wise, I think he's done so many terrible things to so many different people. I don't see that he will be missed.
Wow. So it sounds like no redemption from you.
I don't need him for nothing. No, the world will continue. You know what he could do to redeem himself? He can donate to domestic violence entities. He could talk to abusers in jails and things like that, and perhaps encourage them not
that's
to
redemption.
do
Now, I'm with
done.
you on that. I think that's now, if I was his attorney, that's what I would have said. Shut your mouth, and here's the direction where we need to go. And that's what you dedicate the rest of you're already 50 years old plus. Yeah. Dedicate the rest of your life to that mission right there. And you become that and embrace that and be okay with embracing that, because your first 50, obviously in there's probably some terrible things that you did.
Yeah, and it help people. So people will be more likely to accept an apology. One, if it's direct. He never mentioned Cassie's name in his apology or any of the other people that he's beat up. But secondly, let's see action now. We want your action to mirror your words.
Yeah. Now, that part I agree with. And I think I would have showed action from the Jump Street. I was like, you know what, let me just go on the rest of my life redemption tour. And my life is dedicated to helping as many people as possible, not for the sunshine, but to try to right some of the wrongs of my past.
Yeah, because what's interesting is even he did it was $1 million donation was going to be to Howard as well as to Earn Your Leisure.
Right.
And to my knowledge, neither one of those donations has he saw through.
See, now you're telling me something that I did not even know that. I thought that money, they received it and it was used, it was put to good use. So he made that.
No, and I don't know if once all this stuff started to happen, he made that promise to Earn Your Leisure back in August of last year. This lawsuit came out in November, and they still hadn't received their money.
All right. Wow, Miss Simone Redwine, I appreciate your legal hat being placed to the side for a moment and then you putting it back on, trial attorney. What is next for you real quick? I know that you do it all because you supermodel, actress, reality show. You do it all. You'll take them to court and sue them as well. Whatever needs to happen, you can do it.
Absolutely. You guys can catch me 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, on Al Reynolds' YouTube show called Court of Public Opinion.
Okay.
Where I break down legal cases in my own little quirky Simone way. And you can also find me on YouTube. My channel is called Girl, Is That Legal? And my Instagram is Attorney Simone Redwine.
Ms. Attorney Redwine, I appreciate your insight today. You have been truly helpful, and we'll see how the rest of this plays out. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you as well.